So we get into the car, and my best friend's like, "Oh, it wasn't just haunted." She's like, "There are goblins down there." I said, "What do you mean?"
That's Tennessee for you.
I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "We got down there and he looked one way and I looked over at this area that had water, and there was a goblin-like thing bending over the pool of water where people drop coins, and it was grabbing the coins out of the water. And then when it realized I could see it, it scuttled into the shadows and was peeking out at us. But he either knew it was there and just ignored it, or he didn't see it." She's like, "But I saw it." I said, "Yeah, I heard a whispered gibberish conversation up where I was." She's like, "Uh-huh, uh-huh." She's like, so there's something down there." I said, "Oh yeah." I said, "Whether it's haunted or it's the goblin-like things, yeah, there's something there."
So I'm glad that you brought that up because I feel like there's a connection between the native aspect and the goblin aspect that people usually dig into in Kentucky and Tennessee. I've been doing a little bit of research on it, and I'm sure you're probably familiar with the Moon-Eyed people. And I have some theories about when they got chased off that they may have
Mhm.
went down into these caves, and a lot of the goblins that people are seeing could actually be like the Moon-Eyed people's, or like not centuries, but like a lot of time later on, and maybe possibly with some inbreeding that it may have possibly happened. Maybe they started looking a little bit different. They may have adapted more to being down in the dark.
Right.
So they look a little bit physically different, but the native whispering that people hear when it comes down to these caves, I feel like could go hand in hand with these goblins slash Kentucky hobgoblin, whatever you want to call them.
Right.
Because I think it's possible that they spoke the native language. People talked about them like they did, so it's like it would make sense that if you're hearing native whispering, that it could just be these things. It could be just the
It
Moon-Eyed people
it
rather than just
definitely
unnamed goblins.
it definitely could, because Kentucky and Tennessee have a lot of caves. Um, the Mammoth Cave, that is so huge. They're still finding new portions of it. And, it's they say it's been, totally explored, but every year they're finding new areas of it. And so these cave formations that are underground, um, there's so many different areas of them, and people aren't down there 24/7. So, yeah, something can lurk down there. And, from their point of view, looking at these rock formations and the crystals that they form is every dragon's dream. It's a treasure cave, but they're not the treasures that we would find valuable, but they find them valuable. So, um, these are just, part of the adventure of, traveling and, going exploring that, you find. You always have to keep your eyes open, your ears uncovered, no, listening to headphone music or anything like that. And it's always good if you have a good sense of smell. And you never know what you will experience or find as you're traveling around. That's been, something that I've, taken to heart in the, 10 years that I've been doing like travel writing and stuff like that, is just to be open to exploring and seeing what you can experience.
I mean, even considering the fact that these things could potentially only be 3 feet tall, they
Right.
could fit into a lot of different areas
Oh,
that you have
yeah.
no idea could even be in there. They could climb
Oh
through
my
little
God.
tiny holes,
Yes.
push a rock back into that spot, and you'd never even know that there was an entrance to like a whole village of these things down
Oh,
there.
yeah. Because there are so many nooks and crannies, and yeah, anything like that could be down there and hiding, and you would never know it. You could probably, because I'm sure that the coloration of their skin has developed so that it blends into their surroundings. So they could probably just stand very still and you would walk right past them and not even know that they were there.
Talk about a weird cover up. Everybody draws the Hopkinsville goblins like they're green, but actually
Mhm.
the original reports they were like a grayish silver. So it's like they
Right.
could completely fit in, and there could be this whole
Hmm.
narrative to like cover up the colors so that these things blend in because they know that they're there, but they're
Oh,
trying
yeah.
not to push people away from the tourism in the area.
Right. Right. Because how freaked out, well, most mainstream people would be freaked out, but they would get a lot of tourist dollars from paranormal investigators, cryptozoologists, like teams of them. Okay, here's my $20. Let's go. And just be down there exploring and looking for signs. Is anybody here? With their equipment and but I found just sitting there, sitting there quiet because once again I'm experiencing what's around me. And there was a really cool formation right in front of me from where I was sitting that looked like a dragon. So at one point I said, "Hi dragon, how you doing?" And was just, seeing if I could hear my best friend and this tour guide, and I couldn't hear them anymore. And then to hear that gibberish off to the side of me, and I know that's not her and the tour guide because it doesn't even sound like English.
I mean, if these things even potentially exist as somewhat of a fey being, there could even be like portal type entrances down
Oh
there that
yeah.
are hidden everywhere that people have no idea about that only activate when used properly. I mean, especially in Kentucky, they have all the quartz deposits,
Yep.
and it seems like magnetism plays a key role in opening these portals. And they have all these old volcanic rock that's like a
Yep.
magnetized rock. Like, who knows what could exist down there? And it could just be a matter of walking into a certain area, playing a certain pitch or frequency, and then all of a sudden a door opens. You stop playing that pitch or frequency, and it closes, and you have no idea they're even there in the first place.